Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, March 8th, 2024. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Today, Friday, March 8th, 2024 is being celebrated here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and around the world as International Women's Day under the theme Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. To mark the occasion, youths from the Marian House held an activity outside the headquarters on Murray's Road, bringing awareness to some of the issues affecting women and girls here in SVG. Director of Marian House, Jeannie Oliver, tells SVG-TV News that this year's theme for International Women's Day is appropriate for such an activity.
Part of celebrations, recognition for International Women's Day, there was a session on Wednesday with the young people where we spoke about the history of International Women's Day and about the celebration across the world over. And so the decision was made for us to have these placards to stand above Marian House and recognize the theme for International Women's Year this year, which is educate our women, include our women, don't forget our women, because we are the backbone of our society. And so the youths are here not only holding what is written on their paper, but also screaming to the top of their voice, asking us as Vincentians to invest in our Vincentian women, particularly our young people, and they are well placed to ask that question.
Oliver says the sore issue for the Marian House is unemployment, which they have been seeking to address.
Those are the challenges that they have identified. The most important ones, the whole business of unemployment among young people, young women in particular. Whereas young men could go into the construction industry, without the skills, the young women can't. They are interested in the marketable skills within our country. And that is why they are in the program, so that they can be trained in these skills and become entrepreneurs in their own rights, or even group together, because on completion of the program, they receive a kit based on the skill that they will learn.
One of the few males at today's awareness activity is a strong support of women's rights at home and at the Marian House.
Of the YAP program of Marian House, I am here supporting International Women's Day and the rights and the support of women all around the world. And our slogan for today is invest in women, protect them because they are the world. My sister and my mother, because of them, I am a proud supporter of women, because my mother is the one that bought me and my sister is the one that supports me. So I am a proud supporter of women's rights around the world. Yes.
The majority of youths who participated in today's activity were young women and girls. They share with SVG-TV News their experience firsthand of gender bias, including with career choices that are male-dominated.
Well, I think that women don't have enough opportunity. Like sometimes they say no and men take advantage of us saying no. So I think it is right for all of us to come out here and speak for ourselves and what is right for women. Well, I think sometimes they degrade us. They just watch us and say, like, you know, we ain't fit. They never give us a chance. So I think it's right that they give us the opportunity to do what is right, and we can show them what we are capable of. For me, I'm more thinking, like, more focusing on my sport, which is football. I'm really into cosmetology and food and nutrition.
Myself, for example, when I want to do something, somebody is always there and being like, oh, I can't do it. I'm a female and those kind of stuff. And it should not matter that I'm a female, because looking at this, some females do what men do better than some men.
What is it that you want to do?
Like the mechanic. A lot of females know about mechanic and they just act dumb because they once they open their mouths, men be like, oh, how you know about this and all them kind of stuff, how you to show you right and them kind of stuff. So mechanic. Growing up, I have a grandfather who is in mechanic, and I been around, well, not really mechanic, body work, but then I have other people around me who has been in mechanic.
Saluting women on International Women's Day as president of the SVG Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, who says the team selected this year by the United Nations Invest in Women Accelerate Progress is quite fitting and relevant.
Today, as we celebrate the achievements of many of our women, we must be reminded that more than 90% of our women here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines continue to run the education system. Many of them are principals. In fact, more than 90% of our teachers are women. And we must encourage, salute, and recognize the significant contribution that our women continue to make in nation building. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union is very proud of our women and the legacies that they continue to establish. We know that there are issues still out there in terms of gender violence against women and girls, issues of poverty, and the list goes on and on. We want to thank our women, we want to appreciate them, and we must continue to call on our governments to increase spending, budgeting, for all inclusion, ensure that our women continue to make the progress and to make the indelible mark on the landscape of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Long live the women of this blessed nation. Long live the women of our Caribbean civilization.
Senior teacher at the Park Hill Government School, Shelley and Max, is hopeful that domestic violence, which affects women across St. Vincent and the Grenadines and worldwide, will decline sooner rather than later. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, Max says the International Women's Day theme, Invest in Women Accelerate Progress, may help to bring about change in the society.
We take these women for granted sometimes, maybe because some of them I don't know, not contributing enough or whatever might be the issue. These are the things that women face, the domestic violence and abuse. And I really hope that one of these days soon that this problem would be clamped out from our homes and among our societies. And then we would see a brighter future where women are being able to speak out freely, where they would not have to look over their shoulder or be worried because they are facing the threat of being abused, whether verbally or otherwise. I do believe that if we really invest in women, that it would definitely speed up progress in our communities and in our country on a whole, because as we realize that in today's world, women occupy a number of managerial positions. Women are in charge of so many things. So giving women more opportunities to excel and show their capabilities, I'm sure that it would definitely lead to an acceleration in progress and pushing the country further.
Max says teachers will continue to encourage their female students to be independent rather than dependent, and that they will also encourage the boys to treat females with respect.
In our school system, where we have girls who would later become women, we as teachers here at our school, and I do believe that other teachers would try and influence their female students as well, we would continue to guide them, not only, teach them and prepare them for the academics, but we would also guide them, and the boys too. Encourage the boys to treat the female students in their class equally as equal. And we would encourage our girls to take in their education so that when they grow up, they will be able to go out there, find work, and be independent and not dependent. I think that's one of the reasons why sometimes women are being abused, because they are so dependent on the opposite sex. And you might hear sometimes they say, oh, yes, he abuses me verbally or he hits me, but I can't leave. If I leave, who would support me? Who would support the children? So this is one of the things that we would aim to instill in our girls, to take in their education, so that when they grow up, they would become independent women and they would not have to be dependent and on a partner who would abuse them, and they can't move on because they are not able to help themselves.
And former Miss SVG contestant Shamisha Millington says women need to push one another to reach their fullest potential, and that women and girls in SVG should be provided with the necessary resources to develop themselves personally and professionally.
I believe that we should invest in hosting more conferences, more women empowerment seminars, so that women know that they should get themselves out there, learn a new trade, start a new hobby. It will be beneficial in one way or the other. Invest in women, accelerate progress. And to me, this means that we should present women with as much opportunities as possible and equip them with the necessities needed so that they could excel with their creative mind and different perspectives.
Giving advice to young women considering a career path, Millington, who is an administrative assistant, says women should select an occupation that they are passionate about and that gender diversity should be encouraged in all workplaces.
For young women thinking about their career paths, I would encourage you to choose something you love, something that you could be passionate about, and remember that you have a choice, and do not let anyone to force you to do something that you are uncomfortable with. And in the future, I do hope that work facilities and classes that are stereotypically for men, they start to promote a more gender diverse environment so women feel comfortable and welcome when applying for these jobs or classes. And with that being said, happy International Women's Day to everybody.
The building, which houses the National Society of and for the Blind, has reportedly been burglarized twice within a month, the most recent being a few days ago. The organization's president, Daniel Chambers, explained that the number of mops and other items was stolen, as the window that was broken a few weeks back was not yet repaired.
On the 15th of February, we came in the morning and we saw that there was a window that was broken, and then upon further investigation we found that the burglar bars were also cut and some items were missing. Just a few mops and a drill and drill bits and other bits of small tools. Wednesday of this week we came again and met things in a disarray where mops were on the ground. We had some mops for a customer. They were taped up, mops and sticks. They were on the ground, but this time there was no breakage of window because the window has not been repaired. The burglar bars has been repaired, but not the glass itself. So upon investigation, what apparently happened is that they used a stick and pulled the mops from the table onto the ground over to the window, and then just fished them out through the window, and has stolen about 40 mops and sticks.
According to Chambers, the report was made to the RSVG police force, but nothing came out of the matter, while pointing out that many years ago the organization was constantly burglarized.
The report was made, officers came and told us to do an estimate of the costs of items that were stolen and that they would return, but they have yet to return. Upon the second one, because they had never returned, I didn't make a call on the second when items were missing. No, we've had break-ins years before. Like maybe about 3 years ago or 4 years, we had break-ins. We used to have them often, but then they had stopped. And at one point, there was 2 windows that were broken, and they were there for a couple of years. And then they were recently repaired just last year, and now this year, one has been broken yet again.
The organization's president is asking for the public's help as they keep an eye out for the stolen mobs and is also seeking assistance to help properly secure the building.
We're asking persons to be on the lookout for them. They would obviously take off the tag, so you wouldn't be looking for the tag. You would have to look closely at the mobs. If persons might have had prior to, then they might know them. Well, if persons would like to assist in any way, they can contact the Society for the Blind, and we'd put, the number is 457-2805.
The police have opened an investigation into the discovery of a partially decomposed body at Turuma Beach, Turuma, on Thursday, March 7, 2024. The body was discovered at approximately 1:25 p.m. by residents who later notified the police. The SVG police force says the decomposing corpse was subsequently identified as Doxford Lavey, a 55-year-old laborer of Sandy Bay. The police say there were no signs of violence on the body. However, a post-mortem examination is expected to be done on Monday, March 11, 2024, to ascertain the cause of death. Anyone with information that can assist with the investigation is asked to call the police emergency number at 999 or 911 or the Georgetown Police Station at 784-4586-229 or any other police station or police officer you are comfortable speaking with. The police say any information received will be treated confidentially. News now on the weather. In its 72 hours outlook, the SVG Met Services says a few cloudy periods can be experienced today across some areas of St. Vincent and Grenadines as instability lingers to the north of the island chain. Mostly clear skies are expected tonight. It says fair to partly cloudy skies with a low chance of isolated showers are forecast for the next 3 days as a rich pattern dominates the weather pattern. A moderate easterly trades are expected, becoming east-northeast from Sunday, decreasing in speed at approximately 25 kilometers per hour. Seas are expected to be slight to moderate in open waters, with east-northeasterly swells ranging between 1.0 to 2.0 meters. No significant haze intrusion is within the forecast period. The SVG Community College Division of Technical and Vocational Education held a graduation ceremony yesterday for its 2023-2024 enrichment program at its Annisville site under the theme, Define the Odds, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The program commenced on October 23, 2023 and culminated on February 22, 2024. The graduation ceremony saw presentation of certificates to the participants and awards. Director of the SVG Community College, Nigel Scott, said the college is a growing institution and is seeking daily to meet the needs of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as a developing nation. Scott said the enrichment programs are part of the process in meeting the needs of the growing and developing nation, noting that more outreach programs will be rolled out soon in different program areas. Scott also encouraged the graduates to take on other programs offered by the college to expand their skill set.
We are looking, for example, to roll out new programs at our Division of Nursing Education, where we will transition that division from simply being a nursing division to being a health sciences division, where we can provide training in other health sciences. We are looking in the next couple of months to roll out a program in maritime training at our HMTI. In this way, we can better cater for our seafarers who need to go to sea either on the cruise ships or on the bulk carriers, or even those who ply their trade on the inter-island ferries. And there will be other such programs where we seek to meet the needs of our nation. And so, as you meet here this afternoon for this passing out, graduation type ceremony, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate the 144 successful participants for taking that plunge to expand your knowledge and expand your horizons. And I want to end by reminding you of what the college motto says: nothing limits excellence. So don't stop here. Do another program, read more, expand your skills more, because one of the core values of the SVGCC is lifelong learning. You are never too old to learn. And so I commend you to continue the learning, continued expansion of your horizons.
The Dean of the Division of Technical and Vocational Education, Osborne Bowens, said this year the focus should be on providing more training for locals to take up employment opportunities that may arise. Bowens said it is part of the responsibility of the DTVE to train persons not just for entry-level employment positions, but for middle and upper management positions.
500 and something persons to be employed at Sandals, for example, on its opening day at the end of this month. And I don't want my comments to be misconstrued. But importantly, we must consider the number of persons who will be taking up those jobs in middle management and supervisory positions. And that's a significant part of the discussion, because the research has shown that is when people take up jobs in the management and supervisory and upper level positions, that the significant benefits can be achieved from those investments. So part of our responsibility as a Division of Technical and Vocational Education is to train persons not just at the entry-level employment positions, but at the middle management and even upper management position. So our nation's young people can take their place and contribute significantly to the development, to the employment sphere, and to be able to make their mark in terms of what they do to contribute to the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Importantly, TVET ought to be what we call demand-driven. We must seek and we must find out, based on the labor market information, what are some of the areas that are trending and the needs that are arising even at the end of 2024 and beyond, so that when things happen in 2025, we can be ahead of the game to train persons and they can take up the employment that not just available in 2024, but will become available in 2025.
Program Coordinator Enker Peters noted that completing a skill program is no easy accomplishment, as it calls for dedication, hard work, and willingness to step outside of one's comfort zone.
For each of you, that journey began with a single step, a decision to invest in yourself, to acquire new skills, and to unlock your potential. I am inspired by the stories of triumph that each of you carries with you today. From overcoming personal obstacles to navigating the challenges of learning something new, you have demonstrated unwavering determination and resolve. In doing so, you have not only transformed your own lives, but have also become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. Your journey is a testimony to the power and perseverance in the face of adversity. It is a reminder that no obstacle is insurmountable, no dream too far-fetched, if we are willing to take that first step and continue moving forward one step at a time. As you reflect on your accomplishments today, I urge you to remember the countless individuals who have walked similar paths before you, individuals who defied the odds and paved the way for future generations. Their stories serve as a reminder that greatness is not reserved for the few, but is within reach of anyone willing to strive for it. As you move forward, armed with the skills and knowledge you have acquired, remember that the road ahead may still be challenging. There may be setbacks, there may be moments of doubt, but know that you have already proven yourself capable of overcoming whatever obstacles may come your way.
The DVTE Enrichment Program provides entry-level employment training for over 144 employed and unemployed persons in 9 skill areas, namely introduction to real estate and property valuation, front desk service for the hospitality industry, solar system design, installation and maintenance, introduction to architectural drafting, general construction trades and services, electrical installation, introduction to motor vehicle air conditioning and events, conference planning and management, and basic vehicle maintenance and repairs. 68% of the graduates are female and 32% are males. The technical training areas were selected based on industry employment trends in areas where economic growth is projected in the short to medium term. In other local news now, we hear that all is set for the hosting of the 11th Garifuna Conference, which starts on Monday, March 11 to Wednesday, March 13th at the UWI Global Campus site at French's, Kingstown. The Garifuna Heritage Foundation is organizing the conference, and according to its head, Dr. Zoila Ellis-Brown, much is expected from the conference, which will be held under the theme Promoting Reparatory Justice towards the Development and Implementation of a 2030 Indigenous Peoples Development Plan.
We'll hope that the discussion which will take place will deepen the understanding in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and elsewhere about the issue of reparatory justice for the indigenous people and in particular the Garifuna people. Now this, as you may know, is a current subject all over the world and also in the Caribbean, where CARICOM since 2013 has identified a 10-point agenda which they expect to include, which they expect to complete at some point, which they are working on, which deals with many issues regarding reparatory justice for the indigenous people and African descendants.
The Garifuna Foundation is hoping to gather information for the Indigenous Plan for SVG, not only from the presentations, but from attendees locally and internationally.
Focusing for a while now in relation to the development of an Indigenous Peoples Development Plan, because hardly any work has been done on that topic. So this year we hope to have our input from our Garifuna Reparations Working Group members, some of whom are working hard behind the scenes, to look at what is possible in relation to the thorny issue of reparations for indigenous people. It is not a quick fix topic, or there are no quick fix solutions by any means. And we hope that through the discussion and through the input of persons from all over the world, including persons present at the conference, they will contribute to the development of the theme, which will come to address some practical concerns or make an input into some practical concerns regarding reparations.
Dr. Ellis-Brown admits that more work needs to be done, not only during the month of March when Garifuna activities are heightened, but throughout the year.
I believe that there is a need for awareness, and there's a need for education, and there's a need for raising the information bar in terms of what it means for the indigenous people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think that there is still a need for a lot of discussion. A lot of things need to be put on the table for open discussion, and every time when this issue is raised, to me, it becomes more, it engages the public more. It is not a short-term process. We cannot say that at the end of the conference, perfect or imperfect or solutions will arise. But clearly, this is because we're dealing with the result, the impact of a situation that has taken 200 plus years to develop. It cannot be resolved overnight, certainly not.
The 11th Garifuna Heritage Conference will be a hybrid format, and the keynote address will be delivered by Professor Jovan Scott Lewis, an associate professor and chair of the Department of Geography at the University of California, Berkeley. Other speakers include Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves and attorney at law Louise Mitchell, historian Dr. Adrian Fraser, as well as prominent personnel from Belize, Honduras, and Costa Rica.